Hey friends! Today I'm making a video because it's my first day playing with resin. I've actually had this sitting around for about 2 years now. Does resin go bad? I don't see an expiration date. Oh, we're gonna find out today. Alright, so this is ICE resin. It is already pre-measured. All I have to do is squeeze the 2 little syringes into a cup, stir, and it should be ready to use. I bought these little tubes off of Amazon and I'm super excited to use them. So we're gonna fill these up with various things, and it also came with this. This is actually what I bought it for, but I thought this was gonna be way, way bigger. So just another incident of me not reading the description of the item very well. So this is what I have in mind. I just want to make pretty things. I just want to see how things turn out. So I went around outside. I thought I could just kind of take parts of the leaf and get a nice yellow color, but look, okay, these, look at how precious they are. They're so cute. And I love the yellow color. And then I also got some of these beautiful, the color of these, like fuchsia. And they have these little tiny white flowers in them. Oh. So I've gotten some flowers and leaves to play with. I grabbed a bit of the sand from the beach. I've got some shells from the beach, more shells, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to use like copper scrapings. So I just took my scrap copper from my other pieces and I'm gonna probably chop it up and see how it goes. So let me prep all this. So let's figure out how to use this. I have my stirring sticks ready, my cup open. Oh, must pull out. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. So it's open. I guess we just squeeze it in. Ooh. Says it makes 1 ounce of resin. That was fun. Perfect pour. No measuring involved. And then I'm supposed to stir for about a minute. Now, in the videos I've watched on resin, you really gotta mix it well. So I'm gonna stir here for a full minute. Not going too fast because I don't want to make bubbles. And and it didn't tell me how long I have to work with it, so I'm gonna work as fast as I can, but it's my first time doing this, so we'll see how I get through it. Incredibly messy, and pretty sure I made a lot of mistakes, and I don't know how these are going to turn out, but the box says give it 8 to 10 hours, so let them sit overnight and kind of check them sometime tomorrow. All right, it's about 9 o'clock next morning after I've done these, so it's been over 10 hours. So we're going to check them, see how they turned out. They're pretty hard. Oh, these seem like they're done. All right, well that'll be fun. We're gonna try to get them out of these tubes next. I hear if they're not coming out easily to use soapy water. So we're gonna try that. Like now this one I did sand and a flour, and I know the resin only poured down to a certain amount, so I know that's not gonna turn out how I anticipated, but I think it'll still be cool, so you can still do something with it. Some of these others I'm hoping turned out all right. So we'll do that next. We'll try to get them out of the tubes and release everything. So I think this little mold is going to be pretty easy to get them out. Just have to, oh, yep. Kind of pops right out. Oh, there's another little, I really dig the copper. That one didn't turn out so well. Pretty gross looking actually. Flowers on this side. Oops. So here I think are some of the best ones. Turned out okay. They're so tiny. All right, I have no idea how I'm gonna get these out. That one I didn't get the resin poured to the top. Okay, I might have to use some soap on that one. All right, maybe this one. So this one I kind of over poured it, so I have something to kind of grip onto. Maybe I can pull it out. The easiest thing, but it's coming. Probably ruining it as I do it. Oh, well, you know, evidently I just packed too much stuff into these things, and the resin didn't get saturated in there enough, and it just wasn't enough curing time probably. So fail on that one. Okay, so we're all freed, and I'm gonna take you through and see what shapes and stuff we got. We've got the good, the bad, and the really ugly over here. So we already saw that this one did not work out. It was supposed to be in this long triangle shape. But the thing that we learned is that we cannot pack too many petals into a tube and then pour resin into it and expect it to turn out. Up next, we had our sand and flour on top, which the resin only poured down a little bit into the sand, which I kind of knew after I did it. So only a portion of it came out, but what came out is pretty cool. And then I could just kind of cut away or sand down that bottom part and make a little pendant or something. All right, this mold looks like this. This was another flower petal disaster, but it still turned out a little bit better than the other one. It didn't come out in pieces, but you can see certain parts didn't get any resin where they needed to be. The next one, ooh, this one was kind of cool. This one actually looks like a little crystal point. So I've got a little shell in there and then a bundle of flowers on top of it. I kind of like that one. The copper has really turned out to be my favorite. I think that looks awesome. Cool. This mold is just a straight tube with the shells, so that worked. And then this one has kind of a twist as it goes down. This was another flower petal one, but I think with this one I had poured the resin in and then placed the leaves as I went, so it did turn out a little bit better. It's kind of rubbery, so I think I put too much in, or maybe it just needs to cure longer. I don't know. As far as getting these out of the mold, I didn't show you what I was doing, but all I did is I put some dish soap on the top and some water and just started to kind of push it out, and that dish soap and water kind of seeps down the inside between your project and the silicone mold and helps you to push it right out. So things that were helpful in that is if you get the mold all the way to the top, it's easier to push out. Like some of them were only filled down to here because I poured the resin in and it settled. I poured some more, it settled, and then at the last I didn't have enough resin to fill it all the way to the top. So make sure you get these filled to the top. It makes it easier once you need to take them out. Okay, so a little follow-up after the resin experiment. As I mentioned before, I've had the resin sitting around for a couple years. I just never had all the things at once. So when I finally got the silicone molds, I just wanted to go for it, and I didn't plan everything out maybe well enough. So a few things that I learned that I think will be helpful for you if you're trying out resin for the first time like I was, is don't pack those tube silicone molds too full. I just got a little ambitious and I packed a bunch of stuff in there when I should have put some resin in, put a few pieces in, and not packed it so tightly. The other thing was to fill the silicone molds to the very top with the resin. It makes them easier to get out, and for sure use the soapy water. I wouldn't even try it dry. I would just immediately go to the soap and water. It pops right out. Also wear gloves. I did not wear gloves. If you are trying to use sand in the tubes, I would recommend getting a funnel so that the funnel will go down all the way into the tube and then pour your sand in, because I found that when I was pouring in the sand, it was getting all over the sides of the silicone mold, and then I didn't want to pour the resin in because it would have looked really messy. So use a funnel for sand. My overall impression working with this particular ICE resin brand is good. It was nice to not have to measure anything out or just find extra cups or scales to measure the resin. It's very good if you just have a small project that you need done. They make it very easy. I did find that it turned out a bit yellow, which I wasn't a huge fan of, and I don't know if that was just my resin because it had been sitting a long time or if that brand is just yellowy. I've read some things from other people that have said that their resin was more clear, or this was more yellow, so it just could be the ICE resin, but I have nothing to compare it to yet. It's always fun to experiment with new mediums, so I was super excited to finally get to work with resin for the first time, and now I'll know in my next resin experiment or project what to do and what not to do. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos like this, and check out some of my other tutorials, and see you next time. Subscribe for more.